everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's recap of your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I am your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by a lot of people here. But we're going to start to my far, 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 far left. First, I want to introduce his hair.
It's here.
Before I introduce my lovely co-host,
Mark J. Freeman.
What?
And we also...
You always pause like I should be saying more.
No, that's it. That's all you have to say.
I'm just forgetting your name.
I'm sure that is what it is. I'm sure that is.
And we're also joined by...
Peter Ramos. Thank you.
And live in our studio, we have the bad girl of Salem herself.
Yeah!
Miss Jen Lilley, better known as Theresa Donovan, is here with us. Hello, Jen.
Jeannie Theresa.
Hello.
How are you?
Jeannie Theresa, originally Jeannie Caroline.
I was going to say,
talk about that. And joining us is the amazing...
Hi. I'm Tony Moore. So make sure you guys are joining us live in our chat room. Make sure you also subscribe to us on AfterBuzz TV on YouTube, and also pay attention to us on SoundCloud and iTunes. So we have a lot to go over, and we have a lot of special announcements coming up, and we also have one more special guest that's going to be tuning in via Skype. So I'm pretty sure you guys know who that is already, because we've been tweeting all day long.
Yeah.
But he's waiting in the wings. You can't hear him yet because we muted him. All right.
Before we start, we have to have Jen Lilley turn the hourglass.
Yes.
I'm so excited. This is like the coolest thing ever.
Do we have a drum roll?
Are you ready?
No, we don't
Ready?
have a
This is
drum
like
roll.
my Emmy.
Here we go.
So many people to thank.
And let DISHIN Days begin.
So great.
All right, so first we're going to quickly go over the Lucas, Kate, Adrian storyline. So basically, we found out that Lucas has explained to Adrian everything that Kate has done to undermine him and his job and get her ahead and all of that good stuff. And then we have the ultimate bitch slap followed by the punch.
There were two.
It was the best thing ever. I literally ran back to publicity. I was in the can I say this right now?
Yes,
Are we going to
yes,
commercial break? Okay.
yes.
I literally was in the makeup chair and I was like, what? And I'm watching it and I was like, hold the eyeliner, hold the eyeliner. I'm like running back to publicity, white trash alert, like in barefoot. I was like, you guys, okay, you know how they did the thing at the Emmys where they were like, best bitch slap? And I was like, mark down today's episode. Mark down today's episode. We will win. I was like, it was a punch and a slap. Bada bing, bada boom. We would totally win.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
That was better than the Merriweather Pacquiao fight.
It was the best thing ever. Yeah, it was
First
the
of all,
best.
Somebody actually wrote that in the chat room.
And you didn't have to pay
They made a comment
$100 to
about
see
it.
it.
Right. Well, first of all, that fight was nothing but punching and hugging and hugging and punching. So this was like a whoopsh, and the sound effects always help too, because it was like, okay, slap, psh, and then she went, psh, and I was like, she punched her. like who comes back with a punch? It's like slap, but she went, psh, and Kate was like, oh no.
Good.
I want to punch somebody on the show, but I don't think
Suddenly when you said I want to punch someone, I was sitting right next to you and I felt a little.
Oh, no, I don't think I could do it though. I think I'd be like, I'm sorry. They'd be like, don't make that face. This is so bad.
Because like Adrian is known for her slaps when she slaps Will, and so she thought she can get away for slapping
Yeah,
Kate.
and it's like, you
Kate's
can't slap Kate.
No.
Please. She is a feisty bitch.
Adrian warmed up on Will too.
I know.
If we a couple weeks ago, she knocked Will across
that
the
was
park.
a bitch slap in so many definitions.
She definitely wind that one up, and pretty much that's. This week of Days was really weird because I felt like we're gonna get to
amazing.
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
right?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, we're gonna focus on the huge storyline this week, which is why Jen is with us. But this week it was kind of like a little bit of this storyline here, a little bit there, but nothing as major as.
But I got really sad when actually Lucas kicked out Kate, and he was just like telling her to get out. And he like, and she was like, "But I brought the gift for Ariana." And he's like, "We don't even want your gift here." And he like threw the gift right at her. And I was
Really
just
feel
like,
sorry for Kate.
Okay,
I felt bad.
for two seconds, you kind of did because of the whole way that Lucas did it.
I love me some Kate, but I was just like, no, you got to go.
I suggested they play that. We didn't have the money for it.
Because like James said last week, because I watched last week's episode, he was saying this is her only son that she's had that she's grown up with and raised.
Well, whose fault is that though?
That's hers because she keeps dipping and dabbing in his business, and I think Lucas has finally said, "I've had enough."
Technical term, dipping and dabbing.
Dipping and dabbing.
Hashtag dipping and dabbing.
Hashtag dipping and dabbing. Kate, stop dipping and dabbing in Lucas's business, and therefore he wouldn't have kicked you out like that.
Mind your own biscuits, and the rest will be gravy.
Right.
Did someone say biscuits? Please.
I just
Don't even talk about biscuits in It's my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
So,
right.
So yes, that scene, I don't know. But the way Adrian looked when, first of all, Kate walked in all nonchalant, like, "Oh, I have a gift," and Adrian was like, "You bitch," and I'm like, "Oh, Adrian's gonna get her." Right. But little did she know she was gonna get punched in the process.
That's gonna be a shiner. That's gonna be a shiner.
Oh no! Well, remember when Lucas and Adrian went to kiss and she went, "Oh," because she got punched in the mouth. She's like, "Oh."
God, I love Judy Evans.
Yeah. Judy Evans is. I love her.
She's an amazing actress and an amazing lady.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm telling her all the time. I'm like, let me know if you want to have a tea party for real. So.
Can we come to that tea party too?
Yeah, but only if your pinkies are up. Okay? And you have to wear pink because we're having it on a Wednesday.
Here, let me
practice.
Oh, I have to do it.
Oh, so fail. You can't come.
No, wait, I have to do it with this one.
Like this.
There you go. See?
Like you can't. You're not ambidextrous with your pinky.
No. You tried it. You tried it.
You can do it with his eyes closed.
I hate you. So
I was just gonna say too, when you were talking about like nothing really happening, I felt like I think it was Thursday's episode was basically a recap of Wednesday's episode because it was the police came, so they basically were just talking about everything that had just happened the day before. So I literally my page was just like I just started writing pizza rolls. No, my grocery list.
Yes. And Friday, everyone was like catching up. It was like rehashing everything that has happened.
But
and
how
all
many
that.
times did you guys rewind and rewatch Kristen falling out of that window? Yeah. Marlena's hair blowing in the wind.
She's looking down the cliffs.
Well, there was like a pause, and then it was.
So great. Like they had already dropped the gun. I don't know really what they were doing. It was so great. I was kind of like, man, these women are icons, and I get to be in their storyline. I was really excited.
John in the chat room just says Judy Evans for president.
Right? Judy Evans is the best.
Speaking of the chat room, let's see what else everyone is talking about.
They're agreeing that, and someone agreed with me that we shouldn't be mad at, be sad for Kate.
Old Sports said, "Love Kate, but hashtag no sympathy." Let's see. Okay,
Daquan wants Judy out. Of course, Daquan does. He wants to make more room for Melanie.
Oh, Daquan.
Daquan is always chatting in our chat room every single week.
I talk about Salem not needing her.
All right.
She's probably hearing about Mark talk about Salem not needing her. Well, I may have mentioned it a time or two. I may have mentioned it.
Leah says, Lucas.
Not a huge Melanie fan.
Oh, wait, no, it's gone now.
Not Molly.
It's not Molly.
What happened?
I know, but only Molly can do Molly. You know what I mean? Like, you have to love her. She's the best. I was actually...
As if I couldn't love Jen Lilley anymore. I am going to freeze frame that when I get home, blow it up, and put it in a picture frame next to my bed.
Molly Burnett, I knew her for like a week, and I was like, you want to come to my private birthday party at my house? We're wearing pajamas, making carrot kits for homeless people. You're amazing. I love her.
No,
I kept every time we do a scene, I'd be like, I hate you too, Theresa Melanie. Bleh. And then as soon as I call Kat, I'd be like, roommates. You want to make us roommates? I love her.
Daquan is very happy with you.
I hate when we thought in the very beginning when Melanie came back, you guys seemed like you were going to be friends, and then all of a sudden it was like, you're Jonas, you're Donovan, I hate you, you bitch.
I know.
We're going to go to a concert together.
I know.
So I was like, oh my God, Teresa's going to get a friend?
Yeah.
So Anna said no one can replace Anne. Meredith Scotland is the bee's knees.
But
yes.
You might have Christopher as a friend.
We're changing that name.
Everyone,
like I said.
No.
Yeah.
Everyone wants
Christopher Sean.
Oh, Christopher Sean.
Everyone wants you to have a gay best friend.
He needs to be my GBFF.
Yeah.
Okay? I love him so much.
Yeah.
We need to have a spinoff called Will and Grace, but not Will and Grace.
Teresa and Paul.
What's going on here? Christopher Sean. He's amazing. I love him so much. Just want to please don't die. Except to break me. He looks like Superman. You know what I mean? He looks like he's wearing like a Superman chest plate. Like every time he's in a scene, he's like, I'm John's son. Boom, boom. And I'm like, I have those too, but they're roles.
Derek, my boy in the chat room, just said, more Molly Burnett shade, Jen.
Oh, boy.
Remember Molly Burnett what?
Shade.
There's no shade.
No, I know.
What does that mean?
When you
Is that like lingo? Is that like lingo? I don't know.
Yes.
Shade is what I give Melanie.
Yes.
What does that
It's
mean?
it's like
not cool.
like taunting or like making fun of.
That's like when the fans said they shipped Thrady. I was like, do I want to be shipped? What is shipped? Yes, you do. It's like, okay.
All right, so moving right along in our Salem train, we have the Abigail, Ben, and Chad storyline.
Yes.
Where Chad, I know, right? Chad has confessed this week that he is in love.
Yes, finally.
With, first of all, he was a little vulgar. Okay.
Right?
Vulgar.
He's like, I want to make love to you so hard.
Yeah, well, he was all like, oh, I was just hoping that you would come through that door and say, it's over with Ben so I can take you upstairs and make love to you. And I'm like,
and what's wrong with that? Would you rather watch Melanie?
Rude.
Rude. Molly Burnett is a hot piece. Okay. Hashtag dad ass. Don't be hating on my girlfriend. I love her.
But yay for him for finally confessing. But I mean, Jesus, could he have done it in more of a loving way?
No, I know. It was really intense.
It was intense.
Dead in the eyes too.
Yeah,
it was like, that's intense.
And Abigail just kind of stood there like, I don't know how to respond to that. So she ran out.
It was kind of like a Stefano Marlena kind of segment because
I think she was just thinking about what the last name was. She's like, Demira, done that, done that.
Double times two done that. Been there, done that twice.
Sammy's cousin, step off.
Right.
Just very passionate.
I'm a big Jamie fan.
But I know, everyone loves Sammy anything. Yeah. But we also found out that Ben has been cleared of all charges in Florida for now. And I have a feeling this whole Walensky guy,
coming back.
Because they just keep mentioning him, and someone shanked him before he like went off to prison.
Yeah.
And so so that's how all the charges got dropped. So, but I'm wondering, and I want to ask you guys this, and you guys in the chat room, I want to hear your thoughts too. Do you think that Chad's confession is a part of the plan, or he just was like, this is how I'm feeling, I'm just going to tell her now?
Yes.
It's a part of the plan?
Yes.
The part of the plan to get Abby back?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, part of the plan.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah,
because he's doing is part of the plan.
Is it fake or is it real?
Like,
is that what you're saying?
Like, we all are aware that he has a plan to get Abigail back. Yeah. That's been set in motion.
Yeah.
But was this that moment of like, oh my God, I love you so much and I just want to tell you now and forget my plan?
He just broke?
Yeah.
I think he just really loves her, he thinks, because he hasn't met Theresa Donovan yet.
I was actually thinking that this week. I was like,
I really want to work with
Chad. I'm in love with
couldn't handle it.
I mean,
though
listen,
I love working with Eric Marnzov.
Yeah.
But I would like to have a love triangle.
Yeah.
We would
give it time.
We would like for you just to have someone else besides Anne like you, because for 2 weeks you were twirling around Salem going, no one likes me, everyone hates me.
Why are you crying? Because I just said everybody.
Ever.
I don't think I can make eye contact with Meredith Scotland. It's just like, this is hysterical. I love Annarisa scenes. It's like,
oh my God,
she's amazing.
So I'm wondering how this whole Abigail, Ben, Chad storyline will unfold, because basically this week Chad has professed his love.
Yeah.
Abigail obviously feels the same way but hasn't confessed it yet, and Ben has been cleared of charges.
And then when she comes back to the mansion and she tries to clear everything up with Chad, and Stefano's there.
Oh yeah, that awkward wait.
Part was like Stefano disappeared, and then Chad's like looking around. He even looks up, which was hilarious.
Well, he's got to make sure he's not in the attic with some of his wives,
right,
you know, or
exactly.
I don't know.
Well, first of all,
he's just like looking around when Abby's trying to talk to him.
Stefano is of age, so I'm pretty sure if he got up to move, Chad should have realized that,
right?
Because he still would have been moving to find a hiding spot. I'm just saying.
Hiding behind the couch.
Listen,
she knows everybody personally, so she's gonna take everything because we're always.
But I mean, listen, he's
he's so old.
But I mean, but he's no. He's no
good,
spring
though.
chicken. Like, it would have taken him time to get up and go find a hiding spot.
I mean, it depends because, like, I'm pretty young, but, like, if I've had some biscuits, I'm like walking pretty slow, too. So give him the man some
Okay, how about this? Because he's Stefano DiMera, let's just say the couch had a secret getaway.
flipping button. That's what I was thinking.
And so he strapped in and he just went.
Wow.
So how about
There
that?
needs to be a Days of Our Lives ride at Universal Studios. And Stefano's couch that we just wrote needs to be part of it.
If Stefano moves the way he turned around in his
that chair.
Does he not remind you of, like, what was it, the claw in Inspector Gadget? Where
Yeah.
he pulled
Oh,
out,
yes.
like,
Yeah,
a cat.
totally.
Like, he just needs a cat.
Totally.
And then they pull out the iPhone watch, you know.
I was saying to Jen before the show started that when Alice was on in her last years, that she'd be sitting in a chair, and instead of her leaving the room, everybody would just walk away from her. So it's going to be happening to Stefano. He's just going to be saying, okay, we're going to go in the other room now. You just stay.
That is, I can't with that. So, was there anything else that I missed about that storyline?
Well, I did notice that Stefano did say, and I quote, because you know I love my
You
quotes.
love your quotes.
We need Abigail too much now.
Yes.
So
And that
I
folder.
think it's
That
going back
envelope
to
that
the
he
baby.
had.
Oh yeah, the envelope that he had.
I think they have her baby too.
Yes, that's.
I think-
that's exactly
Wait,
what I
When
thought.
she got pregnant,
Yeah.
and then she wasn't pregnant
With
because she
EJ.
went to EJ's doctor.
Don't they
I
talk
think
about
they
Ireland or something?
I don't know.
Is there speak of Ireland?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I didn't say anything.
So yeah, I totally forgot
there's
about.
the
Okay,
baby.
but
I think
listen,
there's
how?
another DiMera baby.
I mean, really, do we? First of all, there needs to be a DiMera baby because all the DiMeras are dying, and the last one is
there's
Chad.
still
Yeah.
Peter, which they're not mentioning because Peter's still
Slash,
alive
what DiMera
technically.
ever dies and doesn't come back?
Right,
This is
exactly.
true.
Well, we say that in quotes.
So
Death.
listen, so
We say death in quotes.
I want to use this as the perfect time to advocate my character, Maxine's son.
Yes.
So
yes.
I now think this is how this storyline will work out, and you guys in the chat room let me know if this makes sense. So now I want to put Maxine as a part of the prostitution ring that Kate and Tori were a part of, but she wasn't a prostitute. She was more like the mama, like the madam. Like
the
she
madam.
pointed out the girls. But Stefano, let her have a child. That's me. I'm gonna come into Salem.
From who? From him?
Yeah. I'm gonna come into Salem.
He let her have a child from him.
Yeah. I'm gonna come into Salem and find Maxine, but also discover that I'm a DiMera. How about that?
Well, technically, no, there is already an African American DiMera already.
Lexi.
I know.
No, her son.
Slash.
Oh, and
Theo.
Theo's-
Listen, I don't have time to wait for Theo to age.
Slash, can I just say that, like, technically, okay, science nerd alert. This is like the last time they're ever going to ask me to be a guest on the show. But
No, we do fact checks a lot.
I found out that you can do like two white people can have a black baby. It's like very
really?
genetically
Yeah.
rare,
Oh, yeah.
but it's possible. So I mean, the possibilities are.
You could be
endless.
Bowen Hope's child.
Yeah, exactly.
I could be Zach.
Yeah. Up top. You could be my brother Andrew.
Okay, so listen, this is working out.
Except
See,
Andrew was
I don't
on
know
screen
why
and he got
Gina
very
and Josh
tan.
don't
You
call
could
us.
even be a Kyriakis.
The possibilities
With
are
Philip
endless.
Endless. Chloe's baby.
Endless.
Listen, if I
Okay.
can have a baby
I'm all about that.
stolen out of my uterus,
Exactly.
put into Kristen, who's beyond age, even though Eileen Davidson is hotter than me body-wise, I'm like younger than her, then anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible in Salem. We say that a lot, right?
I love
John
that
could be your
idea.
dad. John's everybody's dad.
That's true.
Who's your daddy?
Hashtag another Black DiMera. That was James.
I love
James
that.
Wait, you should be a black. Then you'd be like Black. John Black?
You're just
John
living up to your
Black?
name. You're just living up to your
Yeah.
name.
Right. All right. So now let's get on to the biggest storyline
Storyline.
this week.
Woohoo!
And I think this will be the perfect time to introduce our other special guest. Joining us via Skype all the way from Mississippi, we have Lucas Kerr. Ooh, I hope I pronounced that last name right.
You did.
Kerr.
Good. Lucas Kerr, who played Clint.
Yay!
Hey, Lucas.
What's up, Clint?
Yeah.
I mean, Clint. I mean,
So,
It's crazy. People don't pronunciate it right. I don't get it.
right,
Kerr?
well,
It's all right.
Yeah, how
they call
are
me
you
Jen
gonna do it?
Lilley.
Yeah.
I guess.
They call you Jen Lilley?
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, that's okay.
Jen
Oh.
Lilley.
Lilley.
What's up?
Wow. Well, thank you, Lucas, for joining us. And we're now going to get into the big storyline of this week. Well, first of all, now that I have you and Lucas together, the question is, how does Clint have so much swag that he's able to leave Salem twice and you fall for it?
I mean,
twice.
Here's the thing. Because I don't know. I can't speak for men. I only have the parts I have. But women, ladies, I feel like Theresa's just in this position where no one is her friend, and kind of rightfully so. Like, she's burned a lot of bridges, but even Anne's like, why don't you grow up? And so she's just been in this vulnerable place, and she just wants somebody to love. And it's like, okay, well, this guy comes back. I mean, we all hear stories of that. We all have a friend where you're like, well, why are you with him?
Again, right.
Again.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that he just kind of comes back and promises her all these things,
like a diamond, a diamond
and she's
bracelet
shallow,
and $2 million.
so, yeah, Jesus. Hey, Lucas, and I mean, look at him. He's not ugly.
Try to dumb it down when I'm on TV. You know?
Lucas, somebody in the chat room asked earlier if the trick of holding up a diamond bracelet for a girl has ever worked for you in real life.
God, I wish it did that. My life would be dramatically different. Maybe I'd be happy.
And a photocopy of a $2 million check.
Right. So, Lucas, how did you enjoy playing the character of Clint? He was such a...
You don't know that he's dead.
Yes, we do.
We don't know. Well, it's Salem.
and
Listen.
I'm saying, while we're talking about
He
that,
could be back.
Clint's
by
dead.
the way, when Lucas, when you took the gunshot in the gut, it was so real. I thought it was really well played. I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I was like, what a good gunshot
Did we lose
face.
him? Did we lose him?
Oh.
We gotta
he couldn't
recall him.
handle it.
We're
He
going to
couldn't handle the
reconnect with him for 1 second.
No, he's still on. I'm fixing something on the computer.
Okay.
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 Okay, well, anyway,
so you can hear us, Lucas,
good
right?
death face.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
You know, it's like a real telephone call. No, I tend to die in everything that I do, which I heard is good luck.
Yeah,
Blowing my character off.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Sorry.
It is Salem, so don't give up hope. And I can even start a new campaign, like my Bring Jack Back, Bring Clint Back. I would do that for you.
Right? I'd like that.
Clint becomes a serial killer.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, anything in Salem can happen.
It's true.
Anything.
Yeah. So,
Johnny Black.
so everyone is now in Italy at this castle, and there's people are captured, people are being tied up, people are trying to figure out what's going on, huh?
The Carabinieri's there. I love that Molly was supposed to be speaking Italian, and I speak some Italian, and every time before we take, she'd be like, what about Carabinieri? And then I'm like, what's the word for snatch?
I tell you the part I enjoyed is when we're skipping ahead, but it's all part of the storyline, is when the police came and Theresa's trying to explain to them
Snatching of the baby.
so they took my baby,
She doesn't even say Bambino, but my
baby, they took it out of me, and then he finally is just like, we speak English around here, and she's like, oh, let's go have a seat so that I can tell you.
That what you did is very similar to what happens here at AfterBuzz, and we have to explain it. What happens in Salem? No, listen, this is what happened.
Do a little interpretive dance there.
Yes, exactly.
I'm all about the interpretive dance.
Right. So I'm glad that Theresa finally put the pieces of the puzzle together. That
Yes.
Clint was working with Kristen. Lucas, how was it for you to work with Eileen Davidson, who has played such an iconic character for decades on this show? How was it for you to come on the show and know that you were going to be working with her?
Yeah, I mean, I know Jen can attest to this, but she's just amazing in person. And she's really giving, and she kind of made it fun. We kind of decided we had a little thing going on. We added that right at the end, so that just added a whole other element to the character, which was kind of fun. But she was so good. I mean, she basically works all day long and does everything in one take and just kind of handles everything. And just, I don't know, I just really enjoyed her. I was actually pretty shocked at how cool she was.
Yeah.
Was it intimidating for you at all, or like?
The only thing that intimidates me is trying to learn my lines. Jen Lilley is the best. I mean, when I first got there, she totally took me under her wing and just like, she ran the heck out of lines with me and just showed me where everything was. And
I'm such a Girl
and
Scout.
to eat with me, and hooked it up.
Jen, you sound like that girl in elementary school when it was a new student and you would be like, oh my God, hi, how are you? Do you want to have lunch with me? I'm going to introduce you to everyone.
Person.
It was totally that person. They were like, Jen Lilley will be friends with anyone. I got voted friendliest freshman in junior high. It was like my life goal. I was like, yes.
She was walking me around like I was her new president. She was like, hey, guess who this is? This is my new boyfriend. Hey, guys, check this out.
This is creepy Clint.
Right. So,
little did she know. Dum, dum, dum.
So Theresa finally meets her baby.
Yeah.
What was, first of all, what was it like when you first read about this storyline and how it was going to go? Like, what were your initial thoughts about it? And the fact that your character was now going to have a baby, which, i.e., someone now in Salem definitely likes you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was excited because I love children. I love babies so much. But I was also, I don't want Theresa to be totally nice. You know what I mean? I like that she's devious. I want her to be likable, but I don't want her to be too likable, but it does add some comedy. And I love these babies, but I gotta say, we have, you can only use the baby in so many scenes because of just laws, child labor laws.
Yeah.
And so, like, most of the time, like, if the blanket's around the baby's head, then it's this creepy looking baby doll. It's the creepiest thing, and it's like got one eye open and one eye closed, and it has like eyelashes only on one eye. So I'm always like, oh, this is mommy's eye, with my giant Snuggleupicus eyelashes, and this is daddy's eye. And I'm like, who's a creepy baby? Who's a creepy little baby? And they're always like, Jen, stop with the baby doll. I'm like, this thing, like, don't look directly in its face. It's so weird. Yeah, no, but I love those babies. Oh,
A
but
baby
they're twins.
only
They're
a mother could love.
cute. Oh my gosh, but the real babies are just like, you just want to eat them.
Yeah. Kristen definitely had the upper hand for a little bit. She didn't fall for Brady's little profession of love, like, I do love you.
Yeah.
I know.
I want to take care of you. I want to be with you.
She's not Theresa with Clint.
Oh no. I don't think anyone can be Theresa with Clint, because I'm sorry, but even for me, I was like, oh, you poor thing. Like, he could just come back. He's written all these notes like, I'm sorry, babe, but when things come to an end, they just end.
I know.
And then he was gone.
Thanks for the sex, bye.
Yeah, and then he comes back and he's like, I won the lottery, babe, and I come back to get you. Who believes that?
Well, to her credit, at least the writers wrote that she didn't believe him for a while. Like she was like, wait,
like 5 minutes?
I know, like 5 minutes. I was like, where's Theresa's brain been? They took her brain out with her uterus.
Clint, how was it? Clint, Lucas, how was it? Sorry, it happens. Lucas, how was it for you to? Did you know initially when you signed on for Days that you were going to come back as often?
No, I was only supposed to sign on, or I had come on for 5 episodes, and then they had me come back pretty quick, and that kind of just turned into 20. It's pretty cool. They kind of just right into how you play it, and I kind of played the guy a little
creepy.
I think kind of dangerous and creepy and weird, and I think they just kind of like that. And by the end of it, I'm in a freaking dungeon with, about to kill everybody. So
which by the way, it took you forever to even like shoot the gun, because this whole time I was like, he has plenty of time to just shoot Brady, but it was always a presentation, and it was always like,
Molly,
I have the gun in my pocket, and I'm now going to point it at you, and now I'm gonna cock it back, but I'm not gonna shoot you.
Melody's defense, she's like, I'm gonna annoy you to death.
Like, shut up, just shut up.
Don't even ask me why that happened. I don't know. If it was the Lucas Kerr show, I would have pulled it right away.
Snap.
Because he's gangster like that, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, Jen knows this. We were in.
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. Oh God, I wasn't there. Okay,
so Eric Martov and I, we were showing the director one of the fight scenes, and he's like, do you guys got it down? We're like, oh yeah. So he's like throwing me around, he pushes me against the wall, I'm faking it, I'm back like this, and he's like, and then I swing, I hit him, and he swings, And dude, I put my head back, but the wall was right there, and he accidentally hit me. And I'm not even kidding you. The next thing I know, I'm looking up, and there's 4 people standing like on top of me. I seriously got knocked out. A lot of the stuff my stuntman had to do that happened to be there that day, and I got a concussion and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, see what happens when you're in Salem? You just sometimes things get a little too real and you get knocked out.
Just got a little frustrated is all. He was like, bump it. If they're not writing it in, I'm taking them out right now.
But my question for you, Lucas, because Eric's under the impression that they actually was on tape, so that is the scene that aired. Do you know? Did they actually get that on tape? Because I had heard that they didn't get it on tape. Yeah, I mean, Eric's just...
rehearsal. He was like, do you guys know what to do? And we were showing the director.
It was like
it was like a walkthrough.
Yeah. Shoot.
Like I walked to the wall.
Oh.
Then I got
there.
smacked.
I heard that. I heard that the next day. I was like, what?
What happened? I love that.
He was like, nothing. He became Brady.
Actually, that's how we ended, and they didn't do makeup again. They were like, oh no, it's perfect.
Oh no.
So
that's an actor for you.
Right. So then we have along with Kristen, Clint's there, Melanie's there. You have arrived. Theresa has arrived. Brady's there, and then there is a knock at the door. And Lost Marlena is there, who, first of all, that's why you can't be nosy. You cannot be your own Nancy Drew, because you can't just look on somebody's desk and get an address and go, oh, I assume John is there.
Melanie.
Right. but Melanie did it the right way. At least she knew Brady was coming to Kristen and all that. This whole time, Marlena thought, oh, I'm off to see John. And then knocks on the door. And I can't believe she didn't have the reaction of, like, Kristen? Like, why wasn't she confused? Because I was confused as to how she got to Italy instead of San Francisco.
Dude, I don't know. All I know is that when Eileen did her, like, amazing double take of, like, oh, shit, it's Marlena.
Yeah.
All I thought of was, like, when Marlena was possessed. I was like, it's on. Bring out the deep voice.
Well, speaking of it being on, we had the fight of all fights that has been decades in the making between Marlena and Kristen.
Yes.
And it was an interesting fight, to say the least.
And I love all the flashbacks that they put.
Yeah,
I love when they flash back. I love when they flash back.
Hashtag days 50.
Yes. But it ended in tragedy as poor Kristen DiMera was thrown out of a window, and poor Clint is in the dungeon basement by himself, shot in the stomach.
The best reaction face ever.
I thought you were gonna pull through, Lucas. I did. I was like, oh no, it's just gonna be shot in the air like all the other shots were this week. Yeah, every shot that fired, you were the only one that actually got shot, because every other shot went in the air.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I really thought I had a resurrection in me. Right away, I was like, I'm not dead. I was like, hey, man, nice working with you. But in my head, I was like, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back.
Well, they shot him in the leg. That's why. They knew you shoot him in the leg.
Right. Well,
I saw no blood.
Right.
I know. I didn't see any blood.
Thank you.
Well, maybe what happened.
Mandrake got up, saved him.
No.
Mandrake is gone, too.
Well, yeah. Let's say this happened. Mandrake, once everyone was cleared, went down, got Kristen out of the secret compartment that she shot down in when she fell out of the window. As she went through, she gave Clint a little, like, medicine to bring him back to life. And
then she got onto a couch, buckled in,
and flipped the switch. And now she's with Stefano, along with Clint. And now her and Clint are going to be together.
Yeah.
Forever.
There you go. We've written you back to Salem there, Lucas.
Somebody at Days needs to pay you a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying. I would be an excellent writer. So I mean, and then pretty much Theresa is now has her child. Everything is now out in the open. There was a little kind of touch and go as to whether or not Marlena and Brady were going to get charged,
held captive.
Yeah, and remain in Italy for quite some time. But they've been cleared of their charges. But you can kind of tell that Melanie is a little worried because we now see Theresa connecting with the baby, Brady being happy that he has a son, and now there's a little connection happening. Can I just say, when they talked about the seating assignments for the plane.
Teresa's like, okay.
And yeah, it's like, Brady, you're with Teresa
baby
and the
mama.
baby, but you'll have to hold the baby in your lap. Melanie, you're with Marlena, and Melanie was like, but I'm the girlfriend. Like, I felt like that's what her face said.
Yeah.
It was
But I think it was
interesting.
perfect because at that time Melanie needed a therapist, and it was very convenient
Oh,
that
see?
Marlena was seeing
There you
us
go.
Right?
Up top.
Thank you.
Right. So
I'm not going to comment on that.
oh boy. But before we close out this storyline and before we let Lucas go, unfortunately, Lucas, tell us what you have coming up and what you're working on and where people can find you if they want to connect with you. I know that's a lot to answer, but I'll guide you through it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, they can follow me, or everybody can follow me at the Lucas Kerr on Twitter and Instagram. I'm pretty excited. I just signed on to a sci-fi thriller project, which I'm really excited about. The producers are dope. They're figuring out ways to get like the fans in the project, and they have all these really cool things that are available to them. So I'm really excited about that. They can come to the premiere. They can get eaten in the movie. They have parties for it. They can be on set. So I think that's kind of a cool idea, and I'm
That's
down with
going to
that.
be a nerd's dream.
Yeah, exactly. Sci-fi thriller fans are some of the best fans in the world. So
Yeah.
I hear.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We're like soap fans. They're awesome.
And I got the lead bad guy role of that. So
Nice.
that's pretty
Nice.
fun.
Do you know
Congratulations.
like cyber high vibe? So great.
All right.
And I'm actually down in Mississippi for a chemistry read through Bellingate 2 Productions, and I'm just with them for the week, and we'll see how that goes. They have a couple of films in store, and I don't know, we're just starting a relationship, so hopefully that goes well. And then you guys can see me on CSI Cyber on May 13th.
Yay.
Nice.
Congratulations on that. Okay, so
I watched
May
that show.
13th, CSI Cyber. I'll have to make sure I mention that again next week.
That's a great show, by the way. I watch that
thanks.
show every week.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Well, with your stint on Days, Lucas, I'm pretty sure you have gained 1,000,001 fans, as you can probably tell already because we tweet you a lot and retweet.
The only reason I have fans.
Yes. So Days fans, you guys make sure you stay tuned to everything that Lucas is doing. Lucas, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I wish I could see your faces. It would have helped a lot more.
I'll send you the link so that way you can see our faces.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thanks, Lucas.
All right, take care, guys.
You
Thanks
too.
for-
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so moving. Is there anything else I should mention about
The main story.
the main storyline? That was pretty much the gist of this week, right?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. How did you feel about the reconnecting with the baby and that you weren't crazy, you were pregnant?
Yeah, no, and I loved that. I did love that because I think that if people, I don't know if many people remember this according to Twitter, but Theresa had this scene with Anne like way back when after she was pregnant, and Clint had put Theresa back in her bed, and she wakes up and Anne comes over, and Teresa's like, I was pregnant, and there's like empty wine bottles, and so I think this whole time, and it's like so sad. You guys are laughing, but you're such assholes. I think this whole time, like Theresa thought I killed my baby. I think she feels like so I think that part of her feels justified, like, hello, I wasn't a liar, but I think for me, what I was playing, because you never know what the actor's actually playing, but for me it was just like, oh, thank God I didn't, kill this baby, because she really wanted the baby.
I love there was like one shot, it was like a few weeks ago when they cut to you and you were just sitting in a corner with a martini glass.
Oh, that's the shot. That was the last scene of that week.
Yes.
When they were talking about Teresa and then how she shouldn't be drinking. They're like, yeah, we need her because she can't be drinking. And
yeah, she's like answering texts. Like, what's up, y'all? Hashtag days 50.
So I'm anxious to see how this story plays out and what's going to happen with Theresa and Brady.
Yeah.
Any insight, Jen Lilley?
I have no insight to give you other than, the new writing is really good. And I think that, they're bringing back romance and they're bringing back just such realism, and not like, I just always hate when people are just sleeping together just to sleep together. It's like, oh, I just fell on top of you. Weird. I like the build up, so I feel like that maybe that's what they're doing, but I got no news for you.
I have a feeling that Theresa's character is going to become like, I'm in the money. Because, she made that little comment on the plane where she's like,
you're flying commercial right now, but we're going to get Daddy to get a jet for you.
And she's like, I'm kidding. Oh my God, we almost just died. Can you have like a sense of humor? And that's like the Theresa I love, It's just like, she's just funny.
Because now she's part of the Kiriakis family now.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which Kimberly's not going to like.
Listen, you are in there. You are in it to win it.
And like Flynn.
Right?
Yeah. So, I want to mention before we move on to tidbits, thank you guys so much for tuning in live. We have 86 people in our chat room right now.
Nice.
So
that's the most
earlier
when I looked.
It was 96, but now it's down to 86. I don't know what happened to
they
those
were
10 people.
Lucas Kerr is gone. We hate you, Jen Lilley. Goodbye.
So thank you guys for continuing to chat in the chat room and being a part of this. So we're going to keep moving on. So we have a few other things that happened in Salem. Will begins research on his article of Clyde, and Clyde gives him a fair warning to not do it. And I love how Will is unbothered. He's like,
right?
I've dealt with the Damaris. I've dealt with the Kiriakis.
Kid. Okay?
Yeah. He's like, listen, you're from Popular Bluff. I can deal with you. And Clyde's just like, no, I'm letting you know now. Leave this alone. And he's like, this article is going to happen with or without you.
I know. It's crazy.
Unbothered. Hashtag unbothered. I love that. Sonny and Will are slowly starting to work things out. They are going so slow, but they've kind of made a little headway this week.
A little breakthrough.
Little breakthrough.
A little double entendre.
Just a little. The more you know with Jen Lilley. And then we have two surprise visitors with Paul in San Francisco. Not only John, he went to
Justin.
Yeah, but Justin pops up. And when he cut to, and he was like, what are you doing here? I thought it was Tori lurking in the bushes.
Yeah.
But then Justin pops up, and I was like, what are you doing here?
I know, right?
I suddenly felt like a Californian on the SNL.
Oh. Yeah.
Where are you doing?
Down to Hollywood.
I love that he did a detour from Dubai to Hong Kong on his way to Salem. I'm going to stop in San Francisco just to like chit chat with you. He couldn't do that through email or text or a phone call.
Listen, he got on Stefano's couch. It wasn't that big of a deal. He pressed the button and bam.
It's the Kiriakis couch.
Yeah, it's the Kiriakis couch. Yeah, Victor does have one.
Yeah. I love that everyone is kind of team Sonny and Paul. Like even Victor, I love that Victor left an envelope, Paul's address.
But like Christopher Sean's so amazing that you're just kind of like, you don't even know what you're saying, but look at those abs. He's amazing. I love him.
But Will thought that Sonny was making plans to also go see Paul when he walked in on that conversation.
He said, I love you on the phone.
Yeah.
He was talking to his dad.
Yeah. But yeah.
Just blew up.
Yeah, he did.
Total Sammy's kid.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Yeah, right?
He's totally turned into a little Sammy Brady, and it's okay. Like, you just have to accept
Sammy.
it. Yeah. But she was a little crazy. She pointed the finger at everyone else before she pointed
It's a
at
Brady
herself.
thing.
Yeah. I mean, clearly.
We got a little dose of crazy.
I will have to admit that the conversation happened between John and Paul, and I, for some reason, tuned out.
Really?
Why? I did not pay attention to what they were saying. I don't know why.
Because you were just lost in their eyes?
No. I think
Drake Hoguson's eyebrow?
I think he has the
I love him.
He has the eyebrow
so much.
like Christian Alfonso has the eyebrow.
Right? It's kind of amazing though. It totally works for him.
Yeah. So they had a conversation about something, maybe about
like
reconnecting.
How Grandpa Narita and John had their own little special moment, and they went.
And I love that they were
trip to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Japanese.
That was the fastest trip to the Golden Gate Bridge ever.
Well, I love that Grandpa Narita speaks with his eyes and knows everything before everyone else does. Like like a few weeks ago, like we said, he mentioned you can look at John's eyes and see that that's his kid. Yeah. I'm like, well, where were you at the Salem hospital?
Yeah.
Right?
I get to go to Italy.
Yeah, exactly. Next stop for Grandpa Narita, Italy, to make sure that that's your baby.
DNA test.
We got Grandpa Narita here.
Baby.
That's so funny. All right, and then. Couple of eavesdroppers. We have Eve, who overhears that JJ and Paige are at the Salem Inn about to get their freak on.
Again.
Right.
Yeah.
First of all, she's all happy as a clam. She's like, I'm done with class. We here at the hotel.
I'm skipping class.
I am ready.
Done my homework.
Yeah. See, that's what happens when you make love for the first time. You just want to do it over and over and over again. Not that I would know because I'm still technically a virgin.
Jeez Louise.
And then Nicole, rude. Nicole overhears Serena talking to Xander, who, for some reason, Serena cannot get in touch with Xander and meet up with him because he's totally avoiding her.
He's just doing crunches.
Yeah, apparently. But reminding her of the fun times that they used to have.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was kind of glad that now we saw a little backstory. I wish they would have presented that in the beginning when, before the storyline started, so we can have something behind it and know how their connection was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got to see it.
So there's going to be more to that. Go ahead,
And I
Peter.
kind of feel sorry for Xander this week because he really wants Victor's approval.
Yeah,
Yes, he
right?
does.
He's just like, when Victor called him, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm right there. I'll be right there.
Yeah.
I'll be right there. Like, because he's constantly talking about Daniel and Brady, Daniel and Brady, Daniel and Brady. And this
Because
is like,
those were the good kids.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
And
now
he was not.
Now that Xander came, he's like, I'll do whatever you want. I'll be right there, right next to Brady. Whatever
He's a
you
great
want.
actor.
Yeah.
And I just felt, I was like, oh, Xander, that kind of sucks. Oh, by the way, I don't know if it was this week or last week when they were talking about Xander. It was Maggie, where she's like, oh, there's this Xander, there's that Xander.
Oh,
there's this
yes.
Xander.
Yes.
She's like,
Alexandros, there's like
she's
so
just
many.
like multiple Xanders. She's like, I don't know who's who.
Right.
Which, fans were very upset at the Xander connection because they were like, how you just rewrite the whole family tree? Yes.
Yes, that was me.
In order to include a storyline. So, but we will see what happens with Xander and Serena. But we're sending out prayers to Daniel and Nicole, who cannot get it together at all. Like, as soon as you thought, oh, they're going to have lunch, he got her flowers and all that. Then all of a sudden he gets that idea in his head again, like, you're really not into me.
She's
And,
talking to herself.
yeah.
And I was kind of glad that Nicole stood up to him finally. When
Yeah.
he got the call from Jennifer, and then she's like, oh, really? So you can't tell me about Jennifer?
Yeah.
I have to
Yes.
explain everything about Eric.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was
Yes.
just like, Daniel,
And once again, because she had
Like,
two.
you go right out on that white horse.
She had two back-to-back over here conversations,
Yeah.
but she overheard Daniel talking to
Jennifer.
No, Eric.
Eric.
Oh.
About what's happening in Italy with Brady, and like I love that you watch it. And then he goes, because Nicole knows something, but it's not like she's gonna tell me. And her face went like, I got better things to do than to sit here with you.
He's like, I'm gonna go talk to myself in this leopard print dress.
So Daniel and Nicole get it together. So we will see what happens with that. So that has been your week of days. We are now going to move into our favorite part of our recap, which is our segments. And we are going to start off with my favorite, the 3 Snaps Awards. So thank you, Jen Lilley. So all this week, I kind of went back and forth between if I should give this object the 3 Snaps Award, but it has been very prevalent in this week's episodes of Days, so I'm going to give it to guns. Because apparently everyone needs a gun when you're in Salem or when you're traveling to Italy. And apparently everyone has a moment where they try to get the gun from someone, but it doesn't quite happen the way you want to. So there's always this toss, and then there were bullets in the air, but not directed towards the people you wanted at. So my 3 Snaps Award goes to guns.
Bang, bang, bang.
Thank you, Jen Lilley. And now we're going to move on to our WTF moment of this week. Peter?
Yeah, well, my WTF moment this week is something that we mentioned a little earlier, and it's going to go out once again. It's going to go to Will. And Will is, come on. I mean, he's going to go to Will. I mean, now he's going to go after Clint. I mean,
You mean Clyde?
Clyde, sorry. He's going to go after Clyde. And
Such a fan.
Thank you so much. That's why we need the 4th here, right? I mean, no. He's going to go after Clyde, and it's like he didn't learn his lesson with all the other articles that he's written, and now he's going to go after Clyde, and now I just hope that he finally gets his butt kicked.
Oof.
I do. I think that Clyde needs to lay the smackdown on Will. Because Will just needs to learn his lesson and stop writing these expose articles in Salem.
I know.
Yeah.
Why is he
And it's
writing
just
them
that's
for
all
like
he
Zoe's
writes is
approval?
expose.
Well, this is all a part of Chad's plan. This is why he got assigned
Yeah.
Clyde.
Yeah, like he wrote one about EJ, he wrote one about Sammy, wrote one about Paul, wrote one of
If I were anyone in
Clyde.
Salem and heard that Will Horton was writing an article on me,
Yeah,
I'd be like, no, thank you.
Well, that's what Clyde's
No, thank you.
doing. Clyde's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and Will's like, no, I'm gonna do it anyways. And this is like, dude, you're gonna get it.
He's bold.
He is very bold.
And now on to Mark's quote of the week.
Quote of the week. I was going to give it to our boy Lucas actually this week when he told Melanie, "Man, you're a pain in the ass," but just because I could, understand what he's going through. But I'm going to give it to, and I do believe my chat room people here are agreeing with me because I saw it mentioned a few times, is my quote of the week is going to Miss Kristen Demera. When Marlena comes in looking for John and Paul, and Kristen says, "Are you looking for George and Ringo too?"
Oh, yeah.
So Eileen Davidson gets my quote of the week.
I love that.
Yes.
And of course, with the celebration of Days celebrating their 50th year, we are going to take you back to some wonderful characters and storylines with hashtag Those Were the Days. Y'all get it? Do you get it? You get it? And this week is my week, and I'm going to take you back to Jennifer's mom, which was Laura Horton. And
she still is.
That was.
Still alive.
And I believe we have a photo
That never changes.
of Laura.
She's still crossing the room from the last time.
So,
Sorry.
right. So
It's 3 days later.
when I started watching Days, they all thought that Laura Horton was crazy, but she really wasn't. She was fully aware of what was happening. But the moment that I really fell in love with Laura Horton was when she walked into Peter's, which was Peter Blake's,
Kristen's brother,
Stefano's son, into his funeral in a bright red dress. She was the only person wearing red and celebrating the fact that he was finally dead. So, hashtag Those Were the Days.
Wow.
I like that. All right, and now on to a bit of news and gossip. All right, so with our
There's usually a little
Sound cue.
there's usually a sound cue, but bless his heart, Mark, who's back there in the booth, I gave him so many instructions to do that I think he's probably sweating bullets by now. So thank you, Mark, so much for all that you're doing for our after show today. Really appreciate it. All right, so we're going to kick off our news and gossip with an event that is happening in Canada on May 30th, 2015. In Toronto. And of course, our very own Jen Lilley will be making an appearance. And all week long, we've said that we've had a special announcement. And I believe, do we have someone on the phone? He's not on the phone yet. Well, we have someone who will be calling in to help me momentarily.
We hope.
So I'm actually going to skip over that one until we get him on the phone.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to
The sands through the hourglass pouring through.
Right. So
Secret caller.
we're going to move into. We're gonna go into our next news and gossip. Our special announcement is that tomorrow we will be chatting live with Mr. Blake Barris, who you guys know as Nick Fallon. So make sure you guys tune in. We will put the link to the live chat in our description so that you guys can tune in and ask questions to Blake, and we're going to catch up with him, find out what he felt about Nick, his storylines, and his time on Days. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as we turn the spotlight on to Mr. Blake Barris.
He's nothing like his character.
Nothing like his character.
He's so nice.
In celebration of Days 50th. So now we are going to go back to the Canada event. He's trying to call in, FYI. No, he says that it's busy. So if it doesn't happen, just to let you know, if we can get the Canada photo up, we have Jen Lilley appearing on May 30th, 2015.
With 5 hot guys.
Yes, you're the only girl representing.
I'm the only girl representing.
Whoop whoop. So if you
Look at
are
that smile, that's me. They're like, doing 5 guys. You want to come?
So if you are in Canada and you would like to join in on the event, make sure you visit starscanadaevents.com for your chance to meet not only Jen Lilley, but Brian Datillo, Eric Martzoff, Billy Flynn, Galen Gehring, and James Scott, who was ex-EJ DiMera. So make sure...
Still EJ DiMera.
Well, still,
Thank you.
sorry.
He still
You've
is.
been
He's just not on the show.
Oh, you can't reclass me from the back.
Tony Black. No.
Salem is a tough town. You're getting the boot before you even got there.
Right. Mark, do we have Greg on the line? Nope. Okay, so Greg, who is
Clintman.
who is the organizer, was trying to call in, but apparently our line is busy. I'm so sorry about that, Greg. But he was going to make the special announcement that we will be giving away 2 tickets to the Q&A session for this event. So make sure you like us, follow us on DISHIN Days, so that you can find out more information. And you can meet Jen Lilley.
Yeah, but more importantly, all those guys.
And that is it. So before we...
Well, tell them how they're going to win those tickets.
Do we know yet?
Didn't you say last time?
No.
Because it's going to be the Q&A if they went to the event?
Oh, yes. Okay, so we're gonna do it that way. Okay, so what we?
I'm so intrigued.
So tomorrow when we post, or tonight when we post on our DISHIN Days page, we want to know what question you would ask one of these stars. The best question will win the 2 tickets to the Q&A. So make sure you look out for that post.
That's so smart.
Yes, I know, right? Make sure you look out for that post and for your chance to win 2 tickets to the Q&A event in our in Canada.
In Toronto.
In Toronto.
Canada's
May
big country.
30th. Yes, May 30th, 2015. And we have many other events that are happening that we have tickets for. So make sure you add us on Facebook, DISHIN Days. And before the Emmy music comes on, we have to wrap things up. So Mark, tell everyone where they can find you.
YouTube. No, not YouTube. Twitter and Instagram at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE.
And Peter.
You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at The Real Dooligan.
And Jen Lilley.
JEN_LILLY on Twitter and Instagram. Lily, Jen Lilley? No, I'm just kidding.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Lounging with Tony, or my website, loungingwithtony.com. I want to send a special thank you to Lucas Kerr for joining us via Skype, and a big thank you to Jen Lilley for joining us here in the studio.
Oh, please. I did it for the popcorn. They gave me popcorn before the show.
Will you please come back?
Please.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Next time we're going to go in our PJs, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
And make sure you guys tune in next Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for another glorious recap of your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives. This has been DISHIN Days.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.